What kind of results can you expect from a $500 powder coating system? Well, let's show you how on this wheel. All right, so here is where we're at. The wheel is in the oven cooking off that primer, so we should be good to roll in about 15-20 minutes. But in the meantime, I want to talk to you about how we're going to get a second coat on that beast with this little guy, which is our 40 kV. It's our brand new powder coating system, and it is built for the DIYer, okay? We had the 100 kV, we built that for small shops. We have the PCS 250, which is literally one of the best selling powder coating systems of all time, and a favorite of like many pro shops. They started out with that thing. So here's what we did to make the perfect little in-between unit for the DIYers at home. So number one, what we kept is the voltage and the microamps. This was something non-negotiable for us. We saw how many people really loved fine-tuning this in the 100 kV system, so we made sure we kept it. We also give you gun air pressure. Obviously, you need to be able to adjust that on the fly. What we did not give you on this unit compared to the 100 kV is dosing air and fluidizing air. So yes, that means you are only going to be able to use the 2-pound hoppers with this system, but I can assure you it's more than enough. Not having the fluidizing hopper on this unit doesn't feel like a huge loss. So what we kind of did to replace dosing air on this unit was we gave you another feature, and that is pulse. This is a pretty high-end feature. A lot of the pro machines end up having this. So what it does is allow the machine to self-regulate on, off. What that's doing is allowing you to get into those Faraday cage areas. So Faraday cage is when powder repels out of a corner, right? This, because it's on, off, powder can flow into those areas and basically get the coverage you're looking for without having to strip the wheel back down or shoot it hot or something that you might have to have done in the past. Now, there's a lot of science behind it, and one day we're gonna do an R&D corner on this machine with the product managers. But for right now, what you should know is that it's a nice feature. It's gonna help you get better results. And if you've ever struggled with Faraday cage, you know that you wish you had a little trick up your sleeve to make it easier. Well, this is it. So I know I did a lot of talking there, but the important things for you to remember is that it's a great little unit. It's gonna come in around half the price of the 100 kV, so around 500 bucks. It's a nice step up from the 250, but not as intimidating as getting one of those pro guns. And it's still gonna work great whether you're in a small shop or in your home garage. We even give you a real high quality gun to go with it. Really nice trigger. Honestly guys, I love this unit. As a DIYer, this is probably gonna be the next unit that goes in my garage. So I'm gonna stop talking now. We're gonna pull this wheel out, see how it looks, and then we're gonna lay down some jet black powder. So let's pull it out and get this going. Not bad for somebody who's not a professional powder coater. So one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that this thing is very easy to set up. I kind of said that, but this is what I mean. Right on top here, we have a quick start guide. We did this on our 100 kV and people loved it. So on first coat applications, we tell you a good starting point is gonna be around 40 kV and around 30 microamps. For second coat, we let you know, bump this down to 30 kV and then 20 to 30 microamps. Now again, just like on all of our welders, this is a starting place, okay? So you might find some things that work better for you, but this is a good place to get you going. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust that. You should know here as well that when adjusting this system, you actually need to be triggering it to see the indicators on the digital screen. So I'm gonna put the gun in the back of the booth. I'll go over here and trigger it. And then let's turn that all the way up. And we are right about 30 microamps and 40,000 volts, sorry. And my gun pressure was fine. That was set up from the first coat. So let's go ahead, get suited up, and we're gonna dive into it. So this is one of those teaching moments, or learning moments, I guess you would say. I was so excited to talk about the 40 kV. I realized that I put those settings for the first coat. So I just went back and changed those, turned them down for the second coat. This should help me get some of these Faraday areas. Also wanted to note, this is a great time. Turn on pulse for second coat. So let's dive back into it. And that is exactly why that pulse feature is so awesome. Immediately, it just covered up those areas that we were having some issues with. So now we'll keep going on the rest of the wheel. Let's finish this up. It's also very important, you want to make sure you turn the booth on. This is lots of failures today, but the one success we're going to have is this wheel is going to look great. So it's looking pretty good. We had a couple of areas on the backside that were fighting us. You saw on the front, once we turned that pulse on, that lip kind of covered right up. It's very dry in our building. So I went for the heavy powder, dump it on, get it on the wheel, and try to stay away from that Faraday cage effect as much as possible. So we're gonna go ahead, throw this in the oven, and hopefully when it comes out, it's looking as good as it is right now. We're out of the oven, we're cooled down, and the jet black looks great. Honestly, not bad for an amateur with the powder coating gun. I'm pretty happy about it. Blacks can be a little bit tricky sometimes with orange peel. If you go too heavy, it gets a little bit more apparent. We're gonna talk about some tips and tricks in future videos of how to mitigate that orange peel on like a high gloss black. But for now, I think this looks pretty dang good, and I would be thrilled if it was going on my personal project. We got one more thing we're gonna do today on this video, and that is to have a little bit of fun with this valve cover here. We're gonna coat this entire thing in wrinkle black and show you how to get some cool custom effects on the top here on these fins and on the logo. So stay tuned, let's get this covered, and then we'll show you what we're gonna do at the end. So I know we kind of glanced over the actual how-to process of powder coating in this video. We have some really great other pieces of content on YouTube if you're interested, but what we will tell you in this one is preparation is very important. There's a lot of different ways people go about preparing parts for powder coating. Our preferred method at this point is to blast them, blow them off, throw them in the oven and bake out any contaminants, pull them out of the oven, and then we just spray them once they cool down. So that's what we're gonna do. These things, they've already been blasted for the most part. They just have some stuff on the backside that we wanna make sure we bake out. So we're gonna get that going, throw it in the oven, let it come up to like a baking temperature, like 400 degrees. Probably let that go for 20 minutes at this point, just to make sure we really get all the crud out of these and all the oil and contaminants outgassed correctly. So we'll get that in the oven. Once we come back, it's very important, you gotta let them cool down. We like to shoot our stuff at around 105 degrees. So that's what our target temp's gonna be. Let's get them in, and we'll get powder coating sooner than later. And a lot of people also ask about ground. So when we can, we try to ground from the hook up here. This hook is already black and powder coated, so there was no good place to put the ground. So what I did was put it down on the actual piece here. And then when you're done, pop it off. And we're just gonna spray it on real heavy right there. There you go. Some people might ask about the backside as well. So you can see we got a lot of powder in the backside. Some guys will actually make vacuum tools where you can go in and vacuum it off. Another trick is to actually just take an air nozzle and blow it off. So we'll do that real quick. So the wrinkle black came out really good, but it's not enough. So we want to do something a little more custom on this. And before I mentioned, there was a couple ways to give a nice custom effect here. Number one is we could have powder coated this and then got a vacuum tool and vacuumed off the fins and maybe the lettering surfaces here. And if you wanted to go crazy, this big flat surface. We don't have a vacuum here at Eastwood yet, so we don't have that option. What we're gonna do instead is grab a DA, keep it nice and flat, and just sand down the surfaces on the top of the fins, and then it's gonna give that custom brush steel effect on top, and then the nice powder coating, everything below it. So we're gonna do that, not too hard, see what it looks like. And that, guys, is what you can expect with a $500 powder coating system. Honestly, I am super impressed with how good this thing did, especially on the second coat of this wheel. I mentioned briefly before, but this shop right now, we have about 20% humidity, which if you've done any powder coating whatsoever, you know that can cause a ton of issues. That pulse feature came in huge, came in clutch, was able to get this lip of the wheel totally covered when initially we were having some issues. And honestly, I'm thrilled with the way this looks. And then these guys, one of my favorite things I've ever done here at Eastwood, wrinkled black powder, came back, sanded down these edges and the lettering and this big flat plate here. I think this looks absolutely killer. I hope Cody is going to enjoy this as much as I enjoyed actually doing it. So very excited how that came out. Guys, if you have any questions about the 40 kV, make sure you check out the link in the description below. We're gonna have a link to the product page, more how-to videos, another product video, and we even have Cody talking about why he decided to make this product. So very excited about that. If you guys want any more information on the 40 kV or any of the powders we used here today, make sure you click the link down in the description. That's gonna take you right to eastwood.com. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.